Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Slightly Warped Podcast. I'm Rick, and usually with me is Big Show. He will be along here in a little bit. We're going to be talking some NFL and some sneaker culture today. Also, going to be joined by my former co host, Kevin Manning. Kevin, if you're not familiar, is off doing his own thing now. He's the host of the 2K Lounge podcast, so you definitely want to check that one out. And he's going to be here talking sneaker culture with me. So, without further delay, let's get into it. Kev, what's good, man?
Oh, I can't complain, my guy. Another day of trying to turn 15 cents into a dollar, and I think I might have got to a quarter today. So,
Hey,
just trying to
you
make it
let me
happen best
know
I
if you know how to
can.
get higher than that, because I'm needing some help with that for real.
Man, hey, no one told us, hey, well, they say having kids is great. It's amazing. They left out the part when you got to finance them in college.
Right. It is no fun. It ain't no joke. Speaking of money, uh topic of today's conversation, we talking sneaker culture. And,
Yes.
and the reason why I want to talk sneaker culture is not just shoe collecting, but the whole shoe game in general. Because you have sneakerheads, and then you have um, the casual buyers. We'll say there might be another name for it. Y'all can throw something in the comments at me if so. But I want to go back real quick first because you and I are of a certain age. We can't lie
Hmm.
about it anymore. All my gray speaks for it. But when we were coming up, either you were that guy or you knew that guy who always had the freshest kicks, you know? And regardless, there was always a pair that you coveted, that you wanted, that was either coming out or was out and you saw somebody with them. Do you remember a pair that particularly stands out to you that you just had to have?
Yes, I do. And I just recently got those about 2 months ago. So I grew up on the less fortunate side of the tracks. So my sneaker days were at Payless. So, that's a horror story all within itself. But through the years in the 80s, the Nike Cortezes came out.
Okay.
Love those shoes to death. Not these BS cloth ones, the leather.
Yes. Yes.
And so as a kid, I loved the black and white ones, the original ones. But didn't have money like that, knew it wasn't going to happen. And one day my parents surprised me with an actual, it wasn't branded, it was a hand-me-down pair of shoes. And people don't know, but Converse had their own version of the Cortez.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was a tragedy. It was cloth. Oh, I was so annoyed by that. But as I got older, I was like, I got to get me a pair of Cortezes. But unfortunately, when you wear a size 14, some days are better than the others. And I think it was off Broadway started carrying them, but they never
Okay.
had my size. Then
Mm.
I guess they had did so good, Nike finally put them on their website. And I want to say it's about 2 months ago. To my surprise, they had them for like $50. They used like 80 or 90. And I just happened to come across them. I was like, oh. And what it was, all the others were the cloth that I didn't want or that wannabe fur or whatever. I was like, I don't want that. The suede, I guess.
Yeah.
And they actually had the black and white, all leather ones. And I said, I have no choice but to make this happen. So, I paid like maybe $60 with shipping. And I finally got the pair that 10-year-old me always wanted.
Hey, I like that. Um, I too was in your same boat because I remember it was a dark and stormy night. I asked my parents, "Hey, can I get some Air Jordans?" And they were like, "Yes." And I'm like, "Cool." And then they followed up when you get a job.
Damn.
Gutted, bro. They gutted me. But I did get a job in high school, sophomore year. And with my first check, what do you think the first thing I did?
Got you a pair of Jordans.
I sure did. Never looked back either. Uh, Now, I've always had some decent Jordans. Um,
Hmm.
my sister used to always say that I always had the cleanest Jordans. Not so much anymore, but we'll get to that in a minute. But I pride myself on the fact that every pair that I've had, I worked for. Now, I'm circling back to the beginning because I am not, I don't know if I consider myself a sneakerhead. I'm certainly not a collector. Let's get that out the way. You will not
Okay.
open my closet and find them under glass and lights and never worn. That I've always been whatever it is, shoes, anything. If you want it, buy it. And if you're going to use it, buy it. If you're not going to use it, why buy it? I
See,
can't stand people that collect anything and keep it in the box.
see, that's the thing. I'm not a collector, but I probably got 4 or 5 pair of Jordans I still have yet to wear. And it's
Don't
just,
get me wrong. I got some twos. Do you hear me? We on the
mhm.
40 now. I got some twos. They are still clean.
Yeah, well, I was like, mine have like never seen the light of day. They still ain't been laced up, but
Oh, damn,
that's
bro.
the,
Yeah,
but when you work from home, you don't get dressed for real.
I get that. I get
And
that.
so, and when I'm leaving, going somewhere, I might put on a pair. Or if I'm DJing, I'm gonna keep 100 because I'm a Jordan 1 person. Those are not comfortable for several hours if you standing or if you DJing lifting speakers. I'm cross train or us. I'm not wearing my ones for that because they are not
Okay.
that comfortable.
I will say this. I used to have a pair of ones. By the
Hmm.
way, way back in the day, that was the pair that I
Yeah, yeah.
originally wanted and got. The black and reds.
I just got a
Um,
pair of black and reds a couple of months ago.
I don't have those anymore, obviously, but I
Yeah.
do have some Jordan ones, denim,
Denim.
denim.
That just see, you're a special person for those.
They cold, bro. They cold. All denim pair of J's. They different shades of blue. You know,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've
that's
seen them, but I just it's too much going on for me. I
I,
can't.
I love them. I mean, they're not. I don't covet them like my ones, but that era from like I'll say 1 through 13, to me, those are true Jordans.
All right, here you go on your old
From
man moment. Go ahead.
no, from 14 all the way up to we'll say 39, and I'll say 39 for a reason. It was hit and miss. And we'll go through some Jordans, and I'm gonna have you look at some retros that are gonna be released, and
Hmm.
you tell me if you think they cold or not. But I want to circle back to the Air Jordan 40 because that's the newest one. And I'm kind of like, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. They had recently come out with the Jordan 40 Chicago, which has special accents, has black and red. I
Okay.
did cop a pair of those.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
big. I had to. When I saw them, I'm like, because they dressed the 40 up in the Chicago colorway. Not only did they do that, they changed the badges. The Jumpman is still on there, but they got the wings on there. They got the
Hmm.
Nike swoosh. They did it up. Um, Now they're about to top themselves. This is also the Air Jordan 40. They are going to release it in the Ferrari colorway.
Yeah, because you had the one Jordans like those.
Yes,
I
yes, and that's the reason why I'm thinking about copping these.
I
This is a
can't get
40,
with
but it's a different colorway.
I can't get with the material.
You don't
That
like that
that
suede?
felt suede, whatever it's supposed to be. That's my struggle. I can't get with that material.
Okay. I mean, it's not for everybody. I get that. But yes, I when they come out, I do have to cop. The thing that I don't like about Nike is when it comes to these things, they don't tell you the release date on all these. So it just says uh from January until sometime in the spring of 2026. So they can drop it at any time. I
Well,
gotta have
I
the card
mean,
ready.
for the industry that you love, it's all about anticipation.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, what they're doing is smart. They've been for the past 3 years, letting you know what J's is coming out, when they, and giving you a 2025, 2026, 2027. Because like
And,
till this day, the one pair of Jordans that I want, that I would actually pay full price for, is the Jordan 11s, red and white, the patent leather reds.
mm, those were dope. Those were
Those
dope.
were great. I like the black and white ones, but that red and white, it was just something about it. I will pay top dollar for those if I ever get a chance to.
Okay, here's the UNCs that come out on March 21st. Are you
And
feeling it?
I can't get with the material. Anything that got that suede felt look, I can't get with it because I'm a realist because of where I'm located
So,
and where I
so
live.
I guess the Wolves are out then too, because
Well,
those are also suede.
the fives are ugly to me, period. So
Oh, you didn't like them?
the
I
fives
didn't
are
think they were
ugly.
bad. I did not think they were bad, you know?
Hmm.
Um, let me see. Now, some people love these, if I can get it to pull up.
I like the nines. The nines, the black ones. I think it's like red and black. It depends on the color for the nines. The nines weren't bad. The nines were getting you ready for the 11s if you really think about it.
Now, this is old school us right here,
Yeah,
the
these are
threes.
classic. But I had a
I
love
don't like
hate
this
because of
colorway
how
though.
big the Nike was on the back.
Really?
It gave me Payless vibes. Because remember the XJ900s? It gave me Payless vibes.
I never minded that. I really didn't. Now here's the fours, and they are in the black and red colorway.
Those aren't bad, but
Again,
those when the XJ900s became a thing because they was the carbon copy of these, but they did not last.
now these have been released a couple times before.
And they gonna
They
sell
they,
like crazy.
they released them the last time with the Jumpman on the back
Hmm.
instead of the Nike logo. But they went back to the original Nike logo to make it as close as possible to the original release. And it says holiday 2026. So y'all gonna be waiting until about November, December if you want to cop a pair of
And
these.
when they come out, they gonna fly off the shelf. My barber had those on, and I didn't know those came out in all black. He had them in all black,
Yes,
and I was like, "Damn, them mugs is nice."
they've released them in several colors. September 12th, you can get a pair of the eights in chrome,
They can
not
keep those.
gray,
Those were ugly.
chrome.
The Jordan 8s were ugly. I didn't care for the logo on the tongue like that. I didn't care for the strap. I felt like they was kind of jockeying off of Tim Hardaway's shoe. So I never was a fan.
Well, remember, it's all Nike, you know. You know
Yeah,
how
but
they
still,
do.
it just, I felt like it was a lack of originality.
Because you and I share an affinity for the older models,
Hmm.
that's where a lot of these re-releases come in. I'm
Yeah.
not crazy about the colorways either, but I do like the fact that they give us a second chance to get something that we couldn't have otherwise got before.
Hmm.
Um, and I know this has been mostly Jordan centric today, but that's because I truly believe had it not been for Jordan, sneaker culture wouldn't be where it is now.
Uh, I'll agree because this is what I'll say. Jordan and AI, their shoes made shoes what it is. Just unfortunately, Reebok couldn't keep it going because people always want the AIs, people want the Jordans.
What was that shoe called? The question or the answer?
Yeah, like it was the answer, then it was the question, then I think it was like an A3 or whatever. And I still want I think the first one was the question with the red tip. I still want those, but Reebok don't put them out in my size. I think the biggest size they go to is 13. Just like
Wow.
I wanted
See,
the what?
that is one of the biggest things that I hated. And I experienced this a long time ago. I worked as the manager at Hibbett Sports and I learned the shoe game. It is hard as hell to find a basketball shoe in a basketball size. They'll send you a whole bunch of eights, a whole bunch of nines, a whole bunch of tens, a couple 11s, a couple 12s. You get to the 13 and the 14, you'll get one in the box.
Yeah, because
If
the
your
smaller
store sells
sizes.
out, they're gone.
Yeah, because I mean,
I
look at it like
I had the
this.
basketball players from the college coming saying, "Hey, I need these. You got these in a 13 or 14?" No, we sold it to you, boy.
No, I
Look,
mean, because it's a good business price. Because like I have four brothers. You know, Tony, Jay, my brother Leroy, and my sister's husband, Mouse. I think Tony and Jay are like a 10 and a half. Leroy's
uh-huh,
11, Mouse may be a 10. I'm a 14. You go make more off those four than you will me.
right, right,
Because you done sold the same shoe four times at that size, and they may get different colors. And with me being a 14, I'm just gonna get the one because I'm lucky to have that one. And it's like the shoe size thing is so disrespectful when you can
very.
find my size more at Ross than you can at Foot Locker. It's diabolical.
You ain't lying. Now, we talked about Jordan and Iverson shoes. Who are some other players that stood out in the sneaker game for you? It could be basketball, and I don't want to just keep it at basketball. It could be any sport because, like I mentioned, I'm kind of a sneakerhead. But if you were to look in my closet now, I've only got 7 or 8 basketball shoes. The rest are running shoes because
Yeah,
I'm a
but
runner.
that's what your thing.
Yeah,
But for me growing up, it was any Jordan, any AI, then it was, and I had the first pair of Grand Hills that they were nice, didn't get a lot of attention. That
I thought those
second
were
pair
straight
of Grand
ass.
Hills is what everybody wanted because Tupac had them, and they was on the All Eyes on Me booklet on the inside. So
Yeah.
those just skyrocketed. That's another pair of shoes that only come no bigger than a size 13 that I still to this day want. So it's like you had the second Grand Hills, Jordan, AI, then Sean Kemp's Kamikazes. You wanted
Hey,
those.
what about Penny's foam posit?
I never was a Phone Posit fan, but Phone Posits did
Really?
take off.
I
I
love
didn't
that shoe.
like, but then you got to also look at it, the size of my foot. Imagine how those would look. I didn't want to look like I was walking around with a bumper on my foot.
Now
So
remember, I wear 13, so I'm not too far behind
yeah, but so you get what I'm saying. At least for me, I
you.
was like, it ain't aesthetically pleasing. Especially the fact that I'm only 5'9". I'm not 6 foot with a four. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The aesthetics don't work for me. But you had the pennies, and Pippen had I think like his third shoe was
Are you talking about that
big.
one with air written across it?
What those, and then was the next one after that. It was more
I'm
of a
not gonna lie
sleeve.
to you. That's my grail shoe right there. And I've seen it before. It's on the Nike website, but I'm waiting for the re-release of the black one with the white
Yeah,
outline letters. That's the
you
only one I
know
want.
my grail of a shoe, and I just thought about it because Nike pretty much ruled the scene. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah.
Um, it was mid '90s. The Air Max that Barkley wore when he did the "I'm Not a Role Model" commercial.
Okay.
They have not re-released them. They did a Jordan version, but they haven't re-released them. Them black with the Velcro,
I
and I
was gonna
think
say
they
it had the strap
re-released
on
them,
it. Yeah.
but it was in like a kind of a like an orange, yellow, and white. I'm like, I want the all black. I want the black on black. But I saw his CB34s that came out after that when he was in Phoenix. They supposed to be releasing those. Yeah, but it's
Now
like after
talking,
that, so you got, like I said, Hill, AI, MJ, certain pair of Barkley, Penny. You got the Kamikazes with Kemp. You got the Shaq Gnosis. I had a friend in high school that had those, or middle school. Then you got the man himself, Prime Time.
I
He's
was
one of
getting
the
ready to mention his
few
shoe, Prime shoe,
that
because it,
his
it recently got re-released.
yeah, both his pair that Nike drop were classic. The first one was the
Yes.
best. But another shooter was actually good that was on Jordan and was Jordan on a stepping outside of basketball. And I remember my cousin Trevor, God rest his soul, he had them. And I always wanted a pair. When I was supposed to get them, I didn't. And I still want them to this day. Do you remember the pair of shoes that Roy Jones had that was on Team Jordan?
I do not. I would have to look that up.
Roy Jones had a pair of shoes with Team Jordan. And it was like one of the first pair of shoes. Everything was kind of like strap or whatever, where you pull the strap, I guess you say like a Velcro or whatever, no shoestrings. My
Yes.
cousin Trevor always said it was the most comfortable shoe he ever had. And it's supposed to be like kind of a trainer type shoe or whatever. Roy Jones
I'm
is
gonna tell
Team
you a
Jordan.
comfortable shoe. And you're gonna remember this shoe, but you're not gonna like it because everybody said it was ugly. I didn't care back in the day how ugly it was. It was comfortable. You remember that Bo Jackson cross trainer? It was like tan with
Yeah.
navy blue.
Uh-huh.
My God, that shoe was good. I could run it, I could work out in it. I mean, it was a trainer, but it was so comfortable. I loved that shoe. They did re-release it, and they released it in the silver and black colorway. I still didn't get it. I should have. They're way sold out on 13s by now. If they re-release it again, I will do that. Again, I'm a runner, so I'm big on the Air Max 95s. I
I've
had
never gotten into
two
the Air
of the
Max
black and
thing.
Volt colorways.
I've never been big on the Air Maxes.
Man, with that big old air bubble underneath you, they are so comfortable. Um, okay, don't laugh. You remember Andre Agassi, the tennis player?
Yeah, he had some cold shoes.
Yes, I had a pair of the white ones with the gray and then the little thin line of pink around it. They didn't match a damn thing in my wardrobe, but I had them. Uh, so there was a lot of shoes out there that in a better world will say I would have definitely copped. Well,
I just sent you to Roy Jones.
yeah, let me check this thing out right here. Oh, wow. Those are nice. Okay, I didn't realize that was his. I've seen those before.
Yeah, those came out in the 90s for Roy. And they came out in that red, black, and white. Then where the red was, they were blue. Then there was like an all black pair. They were, I don't know why, but they had a chokehold on me. Beautiful shoe.
Hey, they are nice.
Yeah.
And
And
look,
I
before
believe Jordan just re-released them in some regards.
he may have, or Nike may have. I mean, they always re-releasing stuff. And I'll say this about re-releases and new stuff coming out. Where if you want it, get it. Just I'm sorry, collectors. If you buy it, wear it. Wear it. That's all I'm gonna say. Let me know your thoughts, everybody, on sneaker collecting. Hit us up in the notes, or you can email us at down below. Kevin, before you get
See,
out of here, though,
yeah.
I got to get your prediction.
Okay, no, before I give you my prediction, I gotta give you a good laugh at my expense as far as sneaker culture wise. So, like I said, growing up, we grew up, less fortunate or whatever, when we moved to Springfield.
Yeah,
And I was about to be, that's when I learned the world is different. So in Springfield, you had all the schools. This is when I learned that there's some place where the elementary, middle, and high school are all affiliated with each other. Never knew something like that existed, so I went down there. And I was
really.
in a building where it was kindergarten through eighth grade all in one building. Craziest thing ever. So my parents, they starting over everything, we're doing better this time. They was like, we're gonna get you a new pair of shoes for graduation because they did a big thing about graduating eighth grade or whatever.
Yeah,
So this one I learned about the sneaker convention that'll travel or whatever. So we're in Springfield. My parents go, they was like, we got you some new shoes. This one I got my fixation with white on white before I could afford K Swiss. They gave me a box that said LA Gear on it. Right then I knew we had a problem. Did y'all know Michael Jackson had his own LA Gear shoe?
yes, I did know that.
I learned once I was given a pair as an eighth grade graduation present. When I tell you, I had that's not like I could act, and I was like, "Oh, this is great, yeah." But unfortunately, I had no choice but to wear them. So they did a whole little field day at school, had a good time. Me and friends took pictures. They gave us our pictures back. Everybody kept sending a picture. Man, your shoes is bright. That's a bright white shoe. When I tell you, to this day, I still feel some kind of way where if I could push my mom and get away with it, I would because it didn't help none that the silhouette on the box was Michael Jackson from Smooth Criminal on his toes. Oh, easily the worst pair of shoes for like you were who said you got a job, you started, you bought your own. I started working at the Boys and Girls Club, getting paid to keep score of basketball games. And this is when East Bay became a thing.
Yeah, I remember East Bay.
Whenever they sent out that discount magazine, when I tell you I was ordering two and three pair of shoes at a time, because I was not gonna go back to those LA Gears. Although
Don't
I will
blame you.
admit they were comfortable, but they were heavy. They goddamn they were heavy. But yeah, so I've been through the thick of things of sneaker culture, and now it's like that's what I think. Well, I think I got like maybe 12 pair of Jordans. I wore maybe four because my brother was like, "Man, you need to just if I'm going to Target, I'm wearing my LeBrons or Kobe's or whatever." And I was like, "Why?" I just I throw my cross trainers on or some type
You
of
know
running
what?
shoe, and that's it.
We didn't even talk about Kobe. I'm gonna say this. I have
And
a
he
pair of
got one pair
Kobe's
of shoes
too.
that everybody loves.
I have a pair of Kobe's, but it's not the Nike Kobe's. It's the Adidas Kobe's.
Oh, I forgot about those. That last pair with
Those
Adidas
were
where it comes in
cold.
like a bread box, those were dope.
Yes, those were cold. I love those Kobe's. I've never liked any of the Nike Kobe's. I really haven't. They
That
be
last
doing
one
too
he
much on
did,
them.
the last one they did that they keep re-releasing the Grinch and things like them. Those are
Yeah.
amazing. All right,
Oh,
but
I'm
I do
sure they're
have
comfortable as hell, but they got too much going on them.
to see
Way too
there's
much
that
going
old
on.
man in you. Uh,
Yeah.
well, before I go, so first show was good. It's good to see you, my guy.
What's going on, buddy?
I'm a little hurt that you trimmed your beard and everything, trying to look all professional.
Well, that
Where's the what I'm saying the Manchu look where it look like you a little housebroken. I'm a little some kind of
I
way
got
about that.
I had to clean myself up a little bit.
I can appreciate that. So you need
Hey, but
prediction for the
real quick
games?
though, you guys are
Yes.
talking about shoes.
Uh-huh.
I just want to jump in here real quick. I've never had a pair of Jordans. My first pair of Nikes was when I got married. I always had the Psyches.
I
Really?
told him I grew up on Pro Wings. I grew up on Payless.
Hey,
Yeah,
I know
Payless.
Payless too. Remember, until I got my job, I was at the mercy of the parents.
You
Never
ain't
had
been through
Jordans,
it.
never had Kobe's, never had anything like that.
Yeah, I haven't had Kobe's either. But like I said, you've never been through it. So you've owned a pair of tennis shoes, and the tennis shoes were called Top Guns. And
Wow.
the sole was about that thick, and once it was gone, it's like you walking in skates.
Yes.
Yeah. But going to football before I have to get off here to go be a parent. Um, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a New England Rams Super Bowl, and I I want the Rams to win because I feel like it's a very disrespectful way New England fired their coach last season. And I didn't realize till Kraft wanted to, I guess he did an interview, put a release out and said that it cost him a lot to fire Mayo and his whole staff. And I'm just like that. The moment Vrabel got fired from Tennessee, I think anybody who knows football knew he was gonna get the New England job, regardless of what. Unless Mayo went to the I mean not the Eastern, but the AFC Championship
Look at you
game.
still in that New York Knicks bullshit, talking about the Eastern Conference.
And I'm trying to get us there, damn it. The way they losing right now, I don't know. But I feel like, and I'm hoping Mayo is just sitting at home collecting a check, making, Kraft pay him because he was done very unjustly, in my opinion. And so I was like, if New England go, I want them to lose because I'm tired of, oh, they found a Brady replay, all that. He's had a good season, holler at me if he does it again next season, like Jacksonville. Holler at me if they do it again next season, because I think all three of us know the probability of that is probably low. They just hit lightning in a bottle. Can they keep that lightning going? I don't know.
Here's here's the thing with the quarterback for them. If they were to win the Super Bowl, he's gonna live pressure free like Aaron Rodgers did in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I think Aaron won his in his second year in the
Yep.
league, and then he was living off that Super Bowl for the next 10 years.
Yeah. And that's how he'll be.
Yeah,
They'll put him on such a pedestal, just like whoever wins with the Giants, if they win another one, since it's been so long since Eli, you go think they the fucking president. They just will never pay for another meal again.
yeah, for real.
All right, but
I
I
was
love,
hoping. I mean, we all got what we wanted as Chiefs fans because
yeah,
I wanted Buffalo and Denver to both lose.
Well, that sure happened.
yeah, and Philly lost too, so that made my day also. You know,
That
Yep,
didn't
but
make
so
Nelson's day.
this is the laugh, y'all. Then I'm getting off here. So Nelson sent a text to this group chat that we got. He was like, "How dare Chiefs fans act like Buffalo losing was their Super Bowl when they're not in the playoffs?" And I looked and I said, "Are you serious? Do you not understand how rivalries and hatred for fan bases go? We don't want to see no success from them. We don't want to see success for Buffalo, Denver, or the Raiders. We don't care if the Chargers do anything. We don't care if the Ravens do anything. Those three teams in the AFC and the Eagles and the 49ers in the NFC. We want to see all them lose. Nothing more,
and the
nothing less.
Cowboys, we want them to lose too.
Well,
Well, the
everybody hates
Cowboys are a
Cowboys. That's
joke
just kind of
anyway.
that's one thing. I think Kaylee, she just took up football last year. She don't like the Cowboys. I think it's just known you just don't like the Cowboys. But on that note, love you guys. Whenever y'all want me on here, I'll be on here. I just got to go be a dad and go to wrestling. But
Hey, do what
talk
you got to
to
do.
you
Do what
later.
you got to do.
I'm glad I
Hey,
got to see you, brother.
Tell the daughters Uncle Ricky said hello, and I will catch you again.
I almost do it again. Love you guys. Hey, show next time, grow the beard out a little bit. Get an extension or something. I'm not used to clean shave you. I'm about to go have a drink because that didn't mess my head up.
Later, Kev. Okay, so I know Kev touched on it, and he's hoping for L.A. New England kind of thing. I too think New England's coming out of the AFC, but I think Seattle's coming out of the NFC. Your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any way Denver can beat New England. Oh, excuse me. Although I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think Denver's going to give them a run for the money. As long as their defense can keep New England in check.
Yeah.
Man, the NFC game is it's a pick 'em for me. But I'll probably go for the Rams. I think it'd be New England, LA.
I mean, anybody who's in there this year is going to be new blood, but I, I, I don't want to see New England back. Brady or no Brady, I don't. And yes, I know Brady's part owner of my team now, but that doesn't mean I want to see his former team in the Super Bowl. I don't.
No, I mean,
Uh,
I get it,
at the
but you
same
don't want to
time,
see
I don't
Denver
want
in
to see
there
the
either.
Broncos. I know it's a
Right.
double negative. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So, what's the lesser of two evils? I guess New England better get in there because I don't want Denver having more trophies than my squad.
Well, and even that, I don't even think a Denver being a participant in the Super Bowl would even be fun to watch. At least
From
New England
a
is going to have a good football game.
from a NFL standpoint, I'm sure they'd love it to be the Seahawks and the Patriots again. This time,
Or, or the
memo.
Rams and the
If the
Patriots part
Seahawks are
three.
on the 1 yard line, run the damn thing.
Well, you can have the Rams and the Patriots part three.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Um, which wouldn't be so bad. I would love to see Stafford get another ring. He endured a lot in Detroit, so it was good for him to go. I like that Detroit's turned things around, but I'm really happy for Matt Stafford. You go through some place at the bottom of the cellar for damn near a decade. It's good to get out and experience, freedom, life, and he has. And I think McVay is a good coach for him.
Yeah, for sure.
You and I are both members of the esteemed AFC West club. So it would probably be more painful to see the Broncos win. So New England is the lesser of two evils. I don't want to see Denver being successful in anything.
I mean, even a broke clock is right twice a day. So, you know, sun's going to shine on the fleas every now and then, and this just happens to be their year. I didn't necessarily want Buffalo to go all the way, but I was rooting for Buffalo to go all the way. Because obviously don't like New England, don't like Denver, don't like San Diego, don't like Jacksonville. Houston would have been my secondary pick if they could have had a quarterback that didn't like to give the ball to the other team. But
Well, I mean, the same thing happened for Buffalo. I mean, mistakes killed them. That was literally Buffalo's game to win, and they
yeah,
pissed it away.
so let's talk the Buffalo game.
Okay,
The controversial play.
it wasn't.
Okay.
I mean, like look, I wanted Buffalo to win just like you did, but that
If
was
it
a
was
pick.
if it was the Raiders in that position,
Still a pick. I mean, I got to be honest. I got to be real because the way they explained it,
but would
and
you
if you
not be?
watch it,
I know how they explained it, but the same thing happened in the Rams game, and
it was different.
they gave it to Devontae. What
The
was
ball
different
didn't
about
bobble.
it?
The ball didn't bobble. He had
It didn't.
possession,
No, it didn't. They ripped it out of his hands, just like they did in the Buffalo game.
but his knee was on the ground at that point. He
So, so
established.
was
He
so was the
established.
Buffalo player. So was the Buffalo player. The Buffalo player, his knees were down and he was on his back before the dude ripped the ball off because he did a somersault over him and ripped the ball out.
It's one thing to watch it full speed. It's another thing to watch it frame by frame, and it's a whole nother thing to watch it in slow motion. This is one, and I hate to say this about Buffalo because it seems like every year, twice from Kansas City, and now this year from Denver, they've got a reason to change a rule or to look at something. And I think this is the one reason why Sean McDermott ended up getting fired, by the way. It's always something. You know that phrase, it's always something. And I think the owner was probably tired of the excuses. We said it last week on the show. It's clear for Buffalo. You can't be any clearer. This is how you get to the Super Bowl. This is all you got to do. These guys that have stopped you before aren't even here. And what does he do? Fumble, fumble, pick, or pick, pick, fumble, whatever.
But that's not the coach's fault.
No, it's not. That part's not the coach's fault, but um,
So what about that game was the coach's fault?
I think lack of preparation
Oh, they
and
prepared.
but
What
I mean every team's prepared.
define lack of preparation.
Uh, I don't know if this part is the coach's fault per se, but you know how they say you dance with the girl you brung. I don't feel that their receiving core was as sharp as they could have been. And I know they've had a lot of injuries, but when you have that many drop balls or missed assignments, I noticed it with Buffalo, there's missed assignments. The, the receiver would go one way, the ball would go the other. Incomplete pass. Okay.
But is that a
After
lack
so
of
many
preparation
times,
or a lack of execution by the players?
but wouldn't execution and preparation be along the same line?
No, we prepared for this play. You ran the wrong route. We practiced it this one way all week. We prepared for this play. You ran the wrong route.
When you look at it like that, I see what you're saying.
Now here's the other thing, because you said
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have receivers. Go back 2 years with with the Chiefs. We didn't have receivers. We led the league in drops, still won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Had nothing to do with the coach. That was the players executing when they need to execute.
Hey, and
So,
they did
so
though.
I
They
don't want
did.
to build an excuse for that. I mean, granted, Sean McDermott, God bless him, he's gone. It is what it is. I don't think Bills are going to find another coach to his caliber that's going to be able to do anything unless they do some blockbuster stuff. Mike Tomlin's not going to come because technically the Steelers would have to actually let him go. He's still on the payroll with the
Yeah.
Steelers.
Okay. This one is on Sean McDermott. Going in before halftime, Buffalo could have kicked a field goal. Instead, he elected to go for it, and they turned it over, and Denver ends up kicking another field goal. So
Okay,
they
so
got 3 points out of it.
right, so but that's you can't blame that on the coach because they went for it. Josh ran 40. First of all, they weren't going to go for a field goal because they weren't in field goal range. They were on the other side of the 50. Josh ran 30, 40 yards down the field before he fumbled. That's not the coach's fault. He called the play was executed. Josh didn't keep a hold of the ball. The play
Okay,
worked.
the play did work, but that's neither here nor there. Do
Sure
you
it is.
think,
You're blaming him.
okay, put yourself in the owner's shoes then. Do you keep Sean McDermott if you're the owner?
See, that's where I can understand why they did it, but unless there's someone else out there that you know is better, there isn't anybody out there. Nagy ain't better.
I like that you said that. Your exact words, unless you know there's somebody out there that's better.
Right, but who's better?
Those are famous words that I used last year that came back to haunt me.
Well, no, I mean like if they already let's go back to what our boy said about the Patriots.
Yeah,
They knew Vrabel was going to be the next coach. They knew Vrabel was better than their
Mayo.
coach, the Mayo last year. They knew
Yeah,
that. So
yes,
they were okay getting rid of Mayo, bringing in Vrabel. Whether you agree with the decision or not, Vrabel is a better head coach, period, bar none.
I agree. I agree, hands down.
And they already had that in place before they did anything. Now, if Buffalo has someone like that in place, I don't know who it could be, unless it's like Bill Belichick or some stupid shit like that, which that would be an awesome hire if it was Bill Belichick. Hell, I was thinking about this the other day. Josh McDaniel would be a prime suspect to come in there, and he's going into a situation that, yes, he went into Denver. Denver had nobody. He went to Las Vegas. Las Vegas didn't have anybody. He goes into Buffalo. He's set. Got a premier quarterback, premier running back. All he's got to do is add some pieces, and he could be competitive. And I think he would do
I could see that.
a
It's
lot
a shame
better
to say, but I could see that.
a lot better than and unless they have somebody like that, I would not have let him go. And
Okay,
and, and
take
here's the
take
thing:
Josh McDaniels out of the picture.
hold on?
Take him out of the
Why
picture
would
for the.
you hold on? Why would you let him go after John Harbaugh signed with the Giants?
I don't
If
know.
Har- if John if Harbaugh was an option, then yes, I understand. But I don't see anybody that's going to go in there that's going to be better. Maybe they'll hire Matt Nagy.
That would be a dumb move. It really would. I mean, if not Harbaugh, the next logical person for me and it didn't happen because he's going to be picked up now. Would have been what's his name from San
McDaniel.
Francisco? Robert Saleh.
Oh, yeah. I don't think they would have went with him because they're going to want an offensive minded
Yeah,
coach.
that's true.
Because McDermott's a defensive minded coach. Robert went to the Titans, right?
Yes,
Yeah, he's going to be mediocre at best, I think, on
I
that
can
team.
see that. I can see that. Unless he gets a great offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Now the other coach that they have out there, and if they do this, I would say that Buffalo did a downgrade is Brian Daboll, who was the offensive coordinator under McDermott that put Josh Allen on the map. So I could see a reunion, but I think it would be an overall downgrade.
What do you think about Mike McDaniel?
He's the offensive coordinator for the Chargers now. He's
They
off the
they did
table.
make it official.
He's off the table.
Okay, okay. I did not realize they made it official. Okay, well, never mind. It's not looking good for Buffalo.
I mean, he would have
Um,
been. I don't know if he would have went well with that genre. I mean, I don't know. Mike
I
McDaniel, I think some people are just better coordinators than they are head coaches.
that's what I was thinking about Josh McDaniels.
And
It's
I
proven
agree,
that
except
he's a
he
better
hasn't,
coordinator.
true, but he hasn't had a team even remotely close to the Patriots teams he was coaching for.
Also true.
Buffalo
Fits that
is
mold.
on, yeah, for sure. And you have a Josh Allen, you get you a couple wide receivers. I mean, anything, they got a good tight end. Obviously,
They
they got a
got a
great
great
back.
running back.
Yeah, they got a great running back. Yeah, I would love to coach that team. I'm surprised that Baltimore and Buffalo do not have coaches as they should be the front runners.
Here's my thing. I think they're doing the same thing that Las Vegas is doing right now. I think they're waiting for the end of the season because I think they are going to try to get perhaps a coordinator off of one of the four teams that's still in the running.
Probably.
I know Vegas has done several interviews, but nothing I've heard stands out. So I don't know if it's just a smokescreen or what the deal is with Mark Davis. You never know until it's put out there. I just hope this year he listens to Spy Tech, not Brady, Spy Tech, and make a good football decision. And I think that's what
Well,
Buffalo and Baltimore are doing as well.
I think also I heard this on sports radio when I was traveling today. There is a rumor that have been questioned that the Las Vegas Raiders have or possibly are speaking with the Baltimore Ravens for a trade for Lamar Jackson.
I would not make that move.
Why not? One thing you lose is Mendoza because they're saying trade. They said that the trade would end up being Crosby and the first round pick, and then you would get Lamar Jackson, their first round pick, and multiple picks after that.
Once you let go of the heart of your defense, it's an automatic rebuild again. This team has been rebuilding since 2003. At some point, you have to stop. You have to stop. It's like he's throwing darts at a balloon with the lights off. It's not working. You've got to go
So
with something that's going
you
to work.
think Mendoza?
He's going for a flashy guy that can fill seats. Oh, this goes back. Who was the GM for Kansas City that filled the seats but broke your hearts in the playoffs? Who was y'all? Carl Peterson
Carl Pearson.
filled the seats, had winning seasons, broke your heart in the playoffs. This
That
is what
wasn't his
Mark
fault.
Davis is doing. Mark Davis is breaking our hearts. I don't think Lamar Jackson's the answer.
That's a
You're
bad
already in the middle of
comparison. That's a bad comparison.
possibly, but that's the only
I mean,
comparison that
because
I
you
can
guys
think of
have to
off the top of my
actually
head.
make the playoffs.
That's true. But again, If we got Lamar, we wouldn't. What kind of line would he have? He'd have no protection.
I
Dude's
mean,
got
it
no
depends.
protection.
Depends on how many. I mean, what picks are there, and how good you're. I mean, with Brady there, might
We've
help you.
got
But
10 picks as it is right now. If we can't shore up that line and get a QB with 10 picks, we already got a running back. We already got a tight end. We need one good receiver and shore up that line. And maybe one or two players on defense, or you can find some in free agency. But
so, do
fix
you
the line.
do you feel like you're that close?
No, no, no. I don't think that we're that close, but I think we're a hell of a lot closer than a 2-win season.
Oh, is that
This
all you think?
this
One this year's two wins?
okay, 3 wins. I forgot we beat the Chiefs. What the hell? All right.
No,
Still,
I was for. I thought had won like 6 or 7 games.
no, no. We won 5 games under Antonio Pierce. We went backwards under Pete Carroll. We are
Wow.
better than that. This year, I honestly thought we were going to be one and done in the playoffs, but I thought we were good for nine wins at least. We didn't even meet
Think,
halfway to that expectation.
do you think Mendoza is the answer?
No, not alone. Mendoza cannot do it on his own. That's what without a good solid. You need a tackle and a guard. If he's not
Yeah, I
protected,
mean,
what can he do on
any
his back?
quarterback, any quarterback needs that. Just look at the Chiefs. I mean,
I know,
for example.
but since you've got a good young running back and two great young tight ends, get a young quarterback. That's how you build a team. Don't mess with the age factor. Take them all around or in the general same age bracket. That way they can all grow together. Don't take somebody who, and I love Lamar Jackson, but he's going to cost too much money in the end. You don't need that.
That is true because you'll have if you don't do it, you got Mendoza on his rookie contract, and you're able to build the team up in those 4 or 5 years before you have to pay him.
Right. And if it doesn't work with Lamar, guess what you're doing? You're rebuilding a year again, 2 years down the road. And again, we've been rebuilding since 2003. We don't need that anymore. We need to take what we've got and keep stacking. Don't hit the reset button again. Um, if I'd known what was going to happen this year, I probably would have said, "Hey, shit, keep Antonio Pierce. Couldn't be much worse." And
For real.
turn, yeah. I mean, I honestly think he would have got more than 3 wins out of this team. I know that for a fact because he did the year before. He got 5 wins. So he damn near doubled what Pete Carroll got us. So neither one are with us anymore. That's neither here nor there. When they find their guy, they have to stick with their guy. And their guy needs to have a quarterback that he wants, build the system that he wants, a la like Detroit has, like the Rams have. You know, I don't know if they're going to have that kind of success the first couple of years, but that's part of sticking with them. I don't care if we only get 6 or 7 wins next year, as long as I see it going in a positive direction. A good example of that, the Giants absolutely sucked also this year, but they showed flashes and they are a fun team. I can see why Harbaugh went to the Giants. He's got something that he can build there. Jackson Dart is going to be a star. And what's their running back's name?
Yeah.
Scatterbo.
Scatabo.
Scatterboo. Yeah,
Scatabo.
that dude. That dude's going to be good. Um, so Harbaugh's got some pieces to build with.
Here's my thing, my thought process on Mendoza.
Yes.
And I'm gonna use his opponent in the national title game the other night
Uh huh.
for Miami, Carson Beck. I honestly think Carson Beck's going to be the better quarterback overall. And the only reason why I say that is we know what Carson Beck has shown it. He's went to 3 national title games, 2 with Georgia, 1 with Miami. I think he won with Georgia, he lost with Georgia, and he lost with Miami. What did Fernando Mendoza do before this year?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
So let me ask you this:
I
take Lamar
think,
Jackson out
hold
of the
on,
equation.
hold on a second. I
No, I see where you're
think,
going.
I think he caught lightning in a bottle with the right coach, the right system. Everything went right.
Like
He
you
was
hit it right on the head.
he was a two-star recruit. Two. So as a franchise, yes, it would be great to see him. I just don't. I see him more of a who's the quarterback for the Lions? Jared
Oh,
Goff.
Jared Goff. Yeah.
I That's his ceiling, which isn't bad. You're going to be competitive for the most part. You're going to have 3 or 4 seasons where you're really in there, but you're a middle of the road quarterback.
Hey, sometimes it's okay to be the Sam Darnolds of the world.
I mean, yeah, once in your career you get a
Yeah.
shot. I mean, but you want to be that guy? And
But
am
let
I
me ask you this.
and am I going to spend my number one pick on that guy?
Let me ask you this. Because
Okay.
you know how I was talking about keeping the youth movement, and you were talking about Lamar. Take Lamar out of the equation. What if we took that number one pick, gave it to somebody else for a couple of other picks down the road, and get that other quarterback in the middle of the draft, and we got a couple extra picks?
Yeah, for sure.
That's a better move to me.
For sure.
You still get a good young talent.
But if you
You
have
got the
Lamar,
picks.
if you were able to trade for Lamar, you have a proven quarterback right off the rip.
That is also true, but
However, you need the right coach. You still need a line. You still
and
need
Lamar needs
receivers.
to stay healthy too.
True, but I think I'm gonna put a lot of that on Harbaugh. Those are the play calls that you're calling him to keep the ball and run. He's not Michael Vick in it. Michael Vick wasn't necessarily getting quarterback keeper runs, i.e., like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Mike
Yes.
Vick just took off, kind of like Randall Cunningham, just took off. You know, he learned that when all you saw was the names of the DBs running away from you, to go start chasing them because nobody's looking at you. You know, Lamar, it's a lot of those, what they call them, QB reads or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, and keeping them, same with Josh, and that's why he gets hurt all the time. That is also a thing too. He's probably not going to be in the league another 3 4 years down the line.
Yeah. The read option will get you killed.
I think Mendoza, is going to be a splashy pick. I think he probably will get picked by the Raiders, and he very well might be. I just don't see him as a generational talent. However, nobody saw Mahomes as a generational talent either when he first came out of college. So, I'm not going to say he's not going to be. I think it's really crucial that you pair him with the right coach. That's going to be crucial. Otherwise, you're going to get the uh, who's the quarterback for Titans? Cam Ward. You're going to get
Yeah.
that type of experience where you got all this talent. You're going to get the Baker Mayfield. You're going to, you know what I mean? You're going to get all this talent, and you have the wrong coach that's going to make you, it's going to retard your progression.
Yeah. I mean, if you look, a perfect example of that is Caleb Williams. Look at the coach he had last
Yes,
year and look at the coach he has this year.
yes, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, dude almost pulled off another miracle last week. They
Yeah, that
should
was
be playing the Seahawks, you
man.
know?
That fourth down play to tie the game, that was sick.
Yes. And I know that it goes down as a 14-yard pass, but he was damn near on the midfield logo when he let that thing rip.
Yeah, he dropped
So,
back like 25 yards before he threw it. So yeah. I
yeah.
was going, no, 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 no. Holy shit.
Yeah. So, the Bears are going to be good. I want a coach like that. And if we get a good offensive minded coach and somebody who can groom a Mendoza or any other quarterback, that would be great. I just prefer that we get a young one that we can mold again, it really, I guess, depends on the coach and the kind of offense that he wants to run. Um, do we get a coach that prefers
What
a drop
about
back passer, or
what about Brian Dayball as your head coach? Would you be upset with that?
I would, because look at what Dayball had. And again, Jackson Dart's first year, Scattaboo's first year, but I don't think that he got out of them what Harbaugh is going to get out of them.
Well, he didn't have the opportunity. He only had like 5 or 6 games, and I think 3 games into it, Scatterboo broke his ankle. I
True.
mean, but the years before that, he had Danny Dimes and things like that.
But
So
look at that. He wasn't very good. And then Danny goes to Indianapolis and he was in the running for MVP until he snapped his leg.
yeah, Danny Dimes still wasn't good, even with the Colts. They were just winning because they had a last place schedule. It's
That
kind
that
of
is also true. But
it's kind of why
but
the
but
Patriots are so good this year is because they played the last place schedule.
hey,
Um,
but Danny's agent is in the position to renegotiate off of that.
right. So here's my question to you. So you don't like who do you want as the Raiders head coach? Give me a
Man,
name.
that's a tough. Let's start by weeding out what we don't want. And I know this is going to upset Raider fans. I am Raider fan too, so remember that. We don't need Gruden. Stop talking Gruden. That's done. That's over. Let it go. Let that man win his court case and do what he has to do. Who do we want? Can't have Harbaugh because he's already been snatched up. That would have been dynamic. The brothers playing each other twice a year. My next logical choice, I hate to say it, well, we can't have him because you just told me that San Diego picked him up as the offensive coordinator. I think he's got a hell of an offensive mind if we can keep the defensive coordinator that we have now, because he's building something on defense. Ooh, it's not a whole lot out there. It's very slim pickings right now. I can't think of anybody that just wows me at head coach. Now you're in that McDermott kind of
What about
atmosphere.
McDermott? Would you be mad if McDermott got there?
I would not be mad because he can put together a playoff roster, and that would trend us in the right direction. Um, with the names that are out there right now, he's probably one of the best out there. Who was the we talked about him last week. He was the coordinator for he was the head coach of Miami before he got let go. And he has the lawsuit with the NFL.
Flores.
Yes. That's another possible pick. Um
That would be good. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I could see that.
I really can't think of anybody else. Sala might have been a good pick. He's got sucked up by the Titans. Why you take the Titan job? I don't know. He must see something.
Because they have a young quarterback already.
I know that I've heard that Vegas has interviewed several people. I'd be curious to find out who they've interviewed so far. And that would tell me out of that bunch how they're trending.
I think you got to also look at it from a head coach perspective is whoever takes that job is going to be forever tied to Mendoza or whoever the quarterback they draft in the first round with the first pick. They're going to be tied to that.
Let me see who they've interviewed.
Probably mess around and do what the Chiefs did when I thought, oh yeah, 2013 Andy Reid's coming in here. We got the number one pick and we pick a left tackle.
That wouldn't be good. All right. Let's see. Oh, has Stefanski got hired by anybody?
Yeah, Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay, so Atlanta's got their guy. Please, oh God, don't interview Matt Nagy. Vance Joseph, Davis Webb. He's the quarterback's coach for the Broncos. Clint Kubiak, who's the offensive assistant with the 49ers.
Well, you have the Kubiak brothers. I think one was the coach for the Rams, and the other one is the coach for the Seahawks or 49. No, Seahawks 49ers. Yeah, yeah, that's who played each other, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
one was the offensive coordinator for the 49ers, the other one's the coordinator for the
yeah.
Seahawks.
The one that's the for the 49ers is Clint. He's the one that they they've requested an interview with right after that game. You're talking about Clay Kubiak, who's the other one. They've requested an interview for him after the season's over for them. And Joe Brady. I
Joe
don't know
Brady
who.
would be a good one. Joe Brady, yeah, Joe Brady. They're talking about him being the Buffalo Bills' new head coach.
Now, it does say here that they've reported that the team is looking to build a strong coaching staff to support long term goals and the potential draft of a franchise quarterback. So that goes along with what I think they should be looking for.
Oh, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think they should as well because you gotta, especially in the AFC West. I mean, the Broncos have their quarterback, the Chiefs have theirs, the Chargers have theirs. The Raiders need to have their franchise quarterback.
Agreed. And in a couple years, not next year, but in a couple years, this division is just going to be beating the hell out of each other.
I don't know. I'm not sold on the Broncos. I think they
No, I
caught like
still believe this Chiefs division to lose next year. I really
I
do.
think we're going to be much improved with EB back on our staff. I'm pretty stoked about that.
Hey, Jawan Taylor won't like it.
Good. He needs to be off the team anyway. We need some offensive linemen that'll actually not false start or line up
You
correctly and all that.
line up in the neutral zone on
Yes,
every play.
every play.
All right, I'm getting ready to shut it down. Um, just to recap for our predictions, I know I said that I think the Patriots and the Seahawks are going to win. You said the Patriots and the Rams.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Rams because I'm gonna root for them.
All right.
Seattle's gonna be tough to beat, but I'm gonna pick the Rams.
Okay.
Although it's
Nothing
gonna
wrong
be
with that.
very difficult to have both road teams win, so it'll probably end up being the Patriots and the Seahawks. But I'm still gonna root for the Rams.
Right, there you go. You got anything before we get out of here?
No, I just one thing. I mean, I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but I don't know how many people actually watch our show or listen to our podcast. Whether it's
Mm-hmm.
100,000 or five. I don't know. I know two people for sure listen to it religiously. But I'm not going to mention any names. But I had a really close friend just a few days ago that had a tragedy happen to his family.
Mm.
Um, and I just if you have believe in faith, you pray, um, just say some prayers for this particular person. God knows who I'm talking about. I don't want to go into any particulars. But very devastating news, rocked my world yesterday. Um, Trying to keep the happy face and the strong, but it was very devastating. So this family definitely needs prayer.
Right. Prayer's definitely going up. Hey, I want to I appreciate everybody that watches us on YouTube and everybody that listens on your podcast feed. This week, I want to reach out to everybody who's on the Amazon podcast. Thank you guys for checking in with us. We got a couple dozen different podcast feeds. So every week I'm going to try to, give a shout out to a different podcast feed. And if you're on there, you can drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you.
For sure.
Show, take us on home.
Well, I appreciate everybody's time, and I know I was tardy to the party, but I got here and had some fun. So appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you next week. Love each other. Tomorrow's not promised.
You guys take care.